Today in Across the Fence, the gift of gardening. Whether you're a beginner or pro, or you just enjoy the fruits of the garden or gardening, our experts will share some of their favorite plants and show us some of the newest tools and products. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson, and with me to begin today's program is UVM Extension horticulturalist Leonard Perry. Well, welcome. Happy holidays.
Same to you, Judy.
Now, of course, when you think holidays, you think of that poinsettia plant.
You do. There are many plants you can get. You can get amaryllis, kalanchoe, cyclamen. You can see a lot of these, but of course poinsettia is the most popular year-round, actually, most popular flowering potted plant. I'd like to thank Clausen's Greenhouses in Colchester for providing these different ones for us to look at today. There, you know, if you'd like red, that's great. There's white, pink, but then there are new ones like this Monet here, which is kind of a real nice pink, kind of speckly, and then this one's really speckly. This one's called Glitter, and older one's called Jingle Bells. Some of the things you want to look at with poinsettias are nice uniformity, compact. These are actually the flowers in the center, these little bits here. Those are not quite out. That's what you want to see. These are actually modified leaves called bracts. People think of those as flowers. This is kind of the traditional 6-inch size. Then they're the smaller 4-inch size, which is great if you have a small space. Or what I like to do is get one of these nice hanging baskets here. You don't have to hang it. What I like to do is take this hanger off. Then you have this on the table, and it's just gorgeous. You know, it's not a table, but a separate stand by itself off to the side.
Yeah, that's lovely. Now, what other kinds of plants are there?
Well, there's another one I brought here, and just again, there's some great kits now, amaryllis, paper whites, and this is actually a hyacinth, and it has a bulb in it, and it has a little vase, and you put the bulb in the vase, put some water in it, and it makes roots down and tops up. So it has directions on it. So amaryllis, paper whites, again, you can get these as kits, everything ready to go for someone. Makes a nice gift.
That's fantastic. Well, now you have several more things to show us, but for viewers who are serious about the gift of gardening, you may want to consider the UVM Extension Master Gardener's course. And back with us again is Sarah Kingsley Richards from the UVM Plant and Soil Science Department. You're also a Master Gardener.
I am.
And if someone's interested in becoming a Master Gardener, what do they have to do?
To become a Master Gardener, the first thing is to take the Master Gardener course, which they offer every year. It's a 13-week course. This year they're changing up their format and doing it online.
Oh, okay.
Instead of through Vermont Interactive Television. And it's 13 weeks. Every week is a different topic on gardening, flowers, vegetables, lawns, and they'll definitely, it's still going to be interactive, so you'll have a chance to talk to your professors. And once you're done that course, then you're open up to a lot of volunteer opportunities and meeting other Master Gardeners.
And so how do people get in touch with the course?
The information is on their website, which is uvm.edu/mastergardener, or you can call them at 656-9562.
Well, that's a great gift, whether for yourself or someone else, I guess. Now,
Yes.
Leonard, the subject of gardening and education, you've got some great books for us to look at.
There are just so many books, Judy, and just brought a couple as examples here. One is the Fruit Gardener's Bible. We've shown this before. This is one I wrote and revised from, some people may know the book by Lewis Hill, Fruits and Berries for the Home Garden from 1992. This one came out a few years ago. Just great with all kinds of color photos, as if this one, a lot of people vegetable garden, and this is a great one, again from Story Publishing, The Vegetable Gardener's Bible by Ed Smith, another Vermonter, and so just a lot of good useful information in these. These are just a couple, there's just so many out there depending.
And it's a great time of year too to look at books when it's cold outside
it is,
and
yeah.
snow.
And get ideas and plan for next year.
Perfect.
Colorful pictures.
Oh yeah.
Now, let's move on to some gardening gear. We've got gloves, lots of gloves.
Lots of gloves. Every gardener needs their gear to make their gardens gorgeous. So there's lots of different kinds of gloves. I love these West Country gloves. They have a leather palm, but the breathable back. Also, when it gets a little, when you're dealing with wet stuff, these nitrile palmed gloves are really nice. They're waterproof, but they're still breathable, so your hands don't get all clammy. And then if you're dealing with rose bushes or something prickly, a long sleeve glove,
Great
leather
idea.
type glove is a great thing to have.
Excellent. And now, Leonard, you have knee pads here.
I do. You know, I find my knees don't take rocks like they used to. And it kind of goes along with the gloves, but protect your knees too. Now, if I'm going around the garden, these, one goes on each knee, they fasten the back with Velcro. Just great. You know, you can just move about. If you're stationary in one spot, doing a lot of weeding, or doing housework inside, I use these. You know, if I'm down on the floor, scrubbing it or whatever, then this kneeling pad is great too. So just a
Excellent.
couple more really good, useful things.
And gardeners need to keep up with the weather, of course.
They do. It's just of interest to a lot of people, but especially gardeners. If you don't have a rain gauge, there are many types you can get. You can get ones like this to just very inexpensive. A lot of hardware stores have these, to very fancy ones like this one has a brass on it, and this is very easy to read from a distance too. You want to bring these in, of course. In the wintertime, they'll get water, they'll freeze and crack. But so rain gauges, of course, temperature is the other thing to keep track of. There are all kinds of little wireless units and units like this that have, you know, a little cable that goes out, or you can put a remote sensor somewhere. This one also does humidity. So just something like that. It can be a fun gift if you don't have one. And so the weather items, just there are many other types. Of course, to deal with the weather, you want to be safe. Kind of going along with some of these other things. We mention these each year, these yak tracks or something similar, spikes to, that just quickly slip over your boots
these
or
easy to
shoes.
put on?
They are. And you just put them over, and they really work. It's amazing how you can walk on ice without slipping
And
with
not
these.
just for gardeners, but just for with winter coming up, it's great to have these in
Exactly.
your car.
I hear so many people, and we get an icy winter, if it's kind of warmish like they're saying it might be, I'm thinking, oh, that means we might have more ice. So definitely get saying we've given those as gifts to people too.
That's great. Okay.
Studded tires for your feet.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk a little bit about indoor gardening.
Indoor gardening. Well, indoor, outdoor pots you're going to want. There's a lot of really lovely pots for indoor gardening. Some of these more terracotta ones, obviously you can't let them freeze. And then they come in kind of fun forms like the faces, and you get the hair growing out of the top. There's a lot of self-watering pot options these days for outdoors and indoors. They usually come with a little gauge that will let you know what the water level in your pot, so you don't have to worry quite so much about it staying.
For those of us who forget to water.
Who forget to water on a regular basis, it has a reservoir, so you don't have to water every single day. Terrariums are becoming very popular in fairy gardens, so they
Right.
sell little kits to do little indoor terrariums, little decorations to put on in your fairy garden, little tools. So a lot of pot options out there. And then
about the watering, Sarah, I like the little froggy over there.
Yeah, what's that?
You just put water in the top, and it has this clay bit on the bottom that the water gradually seeps in over about 4 days. So that way you don't have to remember. It slowly waters for you.
And then you have the smiling frog.
Right. Check the frog.
Check the frog.
Okay, let's move on to tools.
Some other tools. Every gardener needs a pair of pruners. Felco is the name brand. There's other brands that are equally as good. This one is actually ergonomic. This bottom part swivels a little bit, so if depending on your grip, it gives you a better angle on it. And then another tool would be a folding handsaw. This one is, let's see, they're kind of scary, so we keep them folded up. This one's really nice. It's got this non-skid grip on it, so you're not going to slip and cut yourself. And it folds up so that when you are, hopefully, so
when you're done,
it stays safe.
And again, that you can just stick in your back pocket
And
if you wanted
can
to.
just stick in your back pocket. That's for if you're trying to cut something larger. And then I know you love this tool, Leonard.
I like that one, yeah, because it does so many things. It's got a sharper edge on one side,
Right,
which
which
is
is
good
here,
for
serrated.
dividing
Yeah.
plants. A serrated one, if you want, I love it, dividing perennial roots. You know, if they're really tougher, you can do that. It's got a little notch on it. You can use that for cutting string, you know, that you're using to tie up your plants with. You can actually use it as a trowel. You can, you know, for planting. It's got
measuring.
inch marks on it, so you know how deep you're planting a plant or seed. So it's just kind of like one tool does so much.
Does so much.
super
It's
tool.
a
Yeah.
Fantastic.
variant on a hoary. And then for other tools, watering apparatus is always nice. These long watering wands are really kind of handy if you're trying to get into watering a pot. And then my favorite, I've put off for years buying one of these trugs, which is just this very flexible plastic bin. I've used 5-gallon buckets for years. And I finally got one of these, a taller version, and I love it. It's so useful in so many ways for collecting weeds while you're weeding or transplanting plants. They come in all sorts of sizes and colors, lots and lots of colors.
And Leonard, you had the great idea of using that as a gift basket and
you
filling
know,
it.
we like to make gift baskets for people. So what you do, you get one of those, you get some of these gifts, put it in there with a little tissue paper and a bow, and you've got a wonderful, you know, present for some serious gardeners.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about our feathered friends.
We can't forget the birds. I mean, there's so many birds. You know, they're out there in the wintertime, and, you know, I like to really feed them. And some of the things you want to think about is you can get this window feeder here, which is really kind of cool. You can see them right up close. Your cats can too. You can get this suet feeder. You can, of course, get a holder and square blocks of suet, but this is kind of fancy. It's got suet and all these seeds on it, so you just hang that up. And they come in different shapes and designs. If you get a feeder, there's the hopper type and then these tube type. These tend to keep seeds drier. Some of the things you want to watch for if you have squirrels, you want to get a sturdy one. Plastic that they can't really chew through, metal ports on the side, and you want to be able to clean it because seeds can get in the bottom, and then mold. This has holes so the water can drain, so they'll stay drier. But if you do get seeds in there, this one's really nice. When just as you fill it, take the top, it's got a little rod, and you just pull that rod up, bottom comes off, you clean
Easy
it.
to clean.
It's just so easy. So that's what I always look for. A lot of feeders don't have it. There are many types out there. Of course, little bird houses, decorative ones. These are just great in the garden, even if you don't have the birds. And then if you want to put out fruit, like oranges for Orioles, you can get holders like this. You can get things to hold corn for squirrels. If you want to kind of decoy, put them off to the side, get them away from your feeders.
Near your neighbor's yard.
Exactly. So there's many things.
Let's talk a little bit about things for the kitchen when it comes to gardening.
Oh yeah, if you garden, especially vegetable gardening, obviously some of it's going to end up in your kitchen. There's these lovely up front. We've got some plastic silicone lids. I know you like these a lot, Leonard.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that too, Judy,
Yep.
that you like those.
They're a lot of fun because they, you can just slap them on top of a bowl and they stay put, and they actually have all different kinds of sizes. They have ones for even cups and mugs, which is great. A lot of fun and easy to find in the drawer.
Yeah, and you just put them on top, and you don't have to worry about cutting foil and getting all wrinkled up. And, and then some of these other things that I just found, there's just so many things. Of course, this one here, this will make a nice little gift basket too. It's kind of a combination bowl and colander. So you mix up, say, your salad, and then you drain the water out, turn it, and the holes come out like so. Or you can put a lot of gifts in. We have some beautiful, dish towels with birds on it. Some of the items we picked out just to show. This one's kind of neat. It's a herb stripper, a zip strip,
before, but this is
and
great.
it has a little hole here. And what you do, you put like a rosemary branch through, or thyme, whatever, and then just pull it, the branch from the other side, and the leaves fall in here. So
handy.
Just really handy, as is if you eat a lot of apples, and a lot of people do. To be in Vermont, then the apple core. This looks like a really nice one. You just push it down. It's got serrations, and pull the handle. The core drops out. Very easy. It's great to peel vegetables. We've got just a regular one. I'm thinking I'm going to have to get these because there's 3 different ones with serration, straight, and julienne. So you can do all kinds of different peeling. You don't just normally peel the vegetables. Coaster, like we saw before, has a silicone one. So again, just if you're growing vegetables, if you just like to eat them, there's all manner of things. These are just a few examples.
And it's great because you can find this under the tree at Christmas time, and it inspires you to
Exactly.
think about your garden for the next year.
And kind of going along with this, cooking and vegetables, is this kit here, this salsa kit. It's great. They have ones for soy candles, ones for beer, and so forth. But if you want to make hot salsa, everything's in there. The jars, the peppers, even the sanitizing for the jars.
Oh, that's
it's all in
great.
there, so you don't have to worry about going to this. So many kits say, well, now you have to go to the store and buy this and that. It's all in there. So those are great to get a kit like that.
We also have some nice scented soaps and candles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's always a good stocking stuffer for a gardener. Anything that'll keep your hands clean after digging in the dirt.
And just a little aromatherapy to relax. And
Great, and also too, we should mention, Leonard, you have a couple of final recommendations?
if you can't decide any of this or just don't know what the person might like, gift certificates, gift cards are great. I'd like to thank not only Clausen's for providing the plants, but Gardener Supply and the Intervale for providing these to show today. But you can find these at many hardware stores online and so forth too. But this is just a sampling of the many things.
And even if you're thinking about taking a trip, you can fill that too.
You can do that too. You can go to my website, perrysperennials.info, and I've got a lot of information, more on things like the poinsettias, but also upcoming trips I'll be having this coming year.
Terrific, and also too, we should mention you don't spend a lot of money. You know, just a couple of items and you're set to go.
Exactly.
All right. Well, as we wrap up, our thanks once again to Clausen's Greenhouse and Colchester for the plants that we highlighted, and also Gardener Supply in Burlington for some of the tools that we have here on display. And I'd like to thank Leonard and Sarah for spending some time with us to talk about that. That's our program for today. I'm Judy Simpson. We'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.